6:09 p.m. your favorite time of day? Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correct. Okay, now I'm curious. How accurate? Let's use another slider to find out. It's pretty inaccurate. You know, can I just say, regardless, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Okay then. Alright, welcome back. I went through the left door, I've grabbed the bucket. We're starting off part whatever we're on.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy, it's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
I love this game so much.
You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in
Can I
order to
even
get
give
you
them
to
the
hand over
bucket?
the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons. Even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal
The
and
narrator's got a
meaningless
lot
that you
of
feel the same
excuses
sort of
for his
kinship
own
towards
wants
any
and desires.
inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
I'll just sit here and let him talk. Property of Stanley.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see,
Bucket.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the
This
thing
game
you're
is
holding
amazing.
is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I'm gonna wait just a bit. Okay. Hello? Oh, is that all he says? Aw, man. Okay, then.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
That was a little amusing, though. Hey, those are opening again. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. We're not doing that, though. 2845.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket...
Okay, so he always says that when you have the bucket.
This is certainly the most logical
Fair enough.
explanation.
No Figlarine, Stanlerine, nothing. No talking? Really? Alright. You know what? I haven't done it.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I'll do it. Does it still? It does still.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Well, I screwed it up, but it's still possible. Actually, you know what? I'm very curious. There has to be something now.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
No, the bucket.
Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
How the hell?
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him.
Oh no.
Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket.
Oh.
Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
It was an ending. Yay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I'm very curious what happens when you go down there without the bucket. It still has the stickers.
A strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Please.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Oh, is that all he says? He's gotta have more stickers. God damn it. He doesn't have any more stickers. I want more stickers on my
Coming to a
bucket.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh wait, shit, I didn't activate the computer. Ah, we'll be right. Right, 2845.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah, sure, that's it.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yeah, sure, that's
Was
it.
the bucket guiding him?
Yeah, sure, that's it.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical
Yeah, sure, that's it.
explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
We're speedrunning this, let's go.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped.
No!
Monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket...
I gotta practice for the speed run.
And it very nearly burst into
Okay.
tears.
No!
Stanley
You slide
cradled
off.
it gently, reassuring it that everything...
Ah,
was
whatever,
fine.
screw it. I don't want to fall. I actually want to do this. We're number 247, so where are we at? Employee number 247. Employee
Was the
number
bucket under the
247.
mind control facility's influence as
There
well?
we are.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of
We're not
things
employee
does the
number
bucket want to
247.
do
347?
or not
427.
in the first place?
That's what it is.
These
Employee
questions
number
raised
427.
furiously in Stanley's feeble
Yeah,
mind.
we're that one. Yeah, there we go. Look at it. It's my office. Alright. Anyway. I haven't been paying attention, my
He
bad.
screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again...
I did it.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and
Oh, wait,
darkest
that's what the
enemy,
achievement
freed
is.
themselves from the tyrannical grip of the
Of
evil
course,
mind
the
control
achievement's
machine.
this.
Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
That's
True,
not...
it was a simple life they
Why would-
envisioned, but
huh?
it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room.
Are you kidding me?
Lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. The
What?
facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket. Needed the
What have you done,
soothing
Bucket?
warmth of the bucket. Will go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
God damn it, Bucket.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms.
What have you done,
Not while
Bucket?
this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
God damn it, Bucket. Ruining my ending. Bro. What the hell, man? Wait, why is
All
the
of his
bucket
co-workers
gotta
were gone.
steal
What
my
did it
shit?
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why has the bucket got a screw with me? That's not very nice. Why is it closed? Something is up. Something is very suspicious right now. Why are we suddenly in Australia? Do I not take the bucket?
The embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands
That's
the
not
test
reversed.
of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered
I'm
the
very
door.
confused.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Fun. We can stay in here a bit.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
It is a good place. The bucket loves the lounge.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as
Yep.
it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Exactly. No need to rush anything. So, I guess he's done.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Damn it.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Nah. You know what? We haven't died yet. Let's do it.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching. The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Wait, but how do I do that if I can't have the bucket? Because I want to do that ending with the bucket.
made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those.
Will it let me
things.
open it? Please let me open it. Please. No. Damn it. Because I want to take the bucket to the button heaven. Aw, man. How do I take the bucket? Damn it. Damn it all the heck.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Okay, he doesn't say
No,
anything new.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
This is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times
Is this
I've done it,
Stanley?
it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
This is very sinister. I'm not comfortable. Well, that one was a bit, terrifying. No, wait, shit. Ah, fuck.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle.
Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. But... it's not, though, because... It's not. It's not. It's not. God damn it. Damn it all. God damn it all to heck. I don't know. I tried. I just want to take the bucket.
How long
But
was I
the door
sitting
shut,
there?
so I don't
Stanley
know.
wondered to himself. Minutes? Days?
Well...
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow.
Oh,
Very lucky.
looked
indeed.
weird for a second, I thought.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee
We'll answer the phone.
was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Hello, bucket. Hello, Stanley, it's me, your bucket. Press J to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders.
Oh,
Whatever Stanley is
made the
hearing
chair
the bucket say
invisible.
to him is just in his head.
Press B to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Aha! I am underplanned. Okay. Press M to go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
I don't know why he would say that. Yeah, don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press H to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Sounds good to me.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket
Oh no,
does have a
don't
nice
take my
shine
bucket.
to it.
Don't take my bucket. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press Q.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection
No.
that it doesn't quite look like your
No,
average
don't take my
hardware
bucket.
store bucket. It's just a little more.
You'll never take my
What am I
bucket.
trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
This is my bucket. I'll relive the same day over and over again.
Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
It's mine.
Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
He's jealous of the bucket. To go to home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket.
No.
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket?
No.
Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this
Stanley's a little
troublesome
weird with this
situation.
bucket. I draw the line sometimes, and this is where I would draw the line. That is not the time.
Stanley, give me the bucket.
Oh,
Give it
God.
to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
I don't want to close my eyes. Go back to work. I'm sorry.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The whiteboard
Stanley
ending.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So that's how you do it.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make
I
a
have dog
single
mode.
difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
What's the bucket think of dog
It
mode?
takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Dog mode is best mode. I accidentally hit my mic. Let's go. Dog mode is best mode.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
I like the bucket's
Stanley
voice.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
It's very funny.
It should have alarmed him, of course.
Humorous,
when
you could
buckets
say.
start talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket
Oh,
had
there's
spoken to
bark
him,
echoes.
and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I think I regret dog mode. Wait, is it now a setting? It is not. Oh no. I cannot turn off dog mode. No spamming E, I guess. I know he...
Stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true...
You're kidding me.
My goodness. I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game.
I just wanted to kill myself with the bucket. I wanted to jump off the stairs over and over again.
On your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I don't think I want to. I can't go anywhere else, can I? God damn it. I don't want new content. Not this new much content. Like, this is very new oh my. I want new content.
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us
Thumbnail.
everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
How am I supposed to know that? Bruh.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
How am I supposed to know?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Let me guess. No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
How? It's the same as the last two. This game is rigged.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
This game is great.
Is this a bucket?
Pretty sure it is, yeah.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. What's going on here? That wasn't a bucket. Have I broken the narrator?
Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
It's not ended it. That doesn't make sense.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
It's a bucket. Don't take my bucket. No, it's not a bucket.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing
Shit,
isn't
I
a
should have
bucket.
said yes.
Wait,
I should have
when
said
say
yes.
Nothing isn't a bucket. That makes it sound
No.
like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true.
Everything is a
Is
bucket.
that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that
Everything is a bucket.
Is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is?
No.
Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Of course you are.
I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
No. Oh, he removed
What
everything.
happened? Is everything gone?
Everything's a
How did
bucket.
everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Everything was a
Every
bucket.
single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here.
No, I'm
You're
not.
not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything.
No.
And put back all of the
Oh,
buckets.
okay. Thank God.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket.
Yep.
If you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Stanley had never seen the office this bright.
Speaking of going
Was it a sign
insane,
of something? He hoped it was. Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
let's go a little crazy.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss
Does this not
thought he was
change?
crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms.
Okay.
Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Bro, this game. Mariella be doing backflips to work with this
Just
shit.
a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
I feel like I've missed things, though.
Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
I don't know.
Stanley clutched the bucket.
I don't want to do the confusion ending again just
The
yet,
door
so
was left.
I'll go this way, I guess.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret!
God damn it. Why is there no saves? Why?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped.
Oh, they put like an invisible wall there.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
Huh.
Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
So how are you meant to speedrun it now? They kept the first part. But
Was the bucket
they got...
under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror.
Yeah, the bucket did that.
Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take
Was the
over the
bucket.
machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Hold on. Okay, so the door's still shut. What is going on? Well, we know off fails, so I'm just gonna go... Oh.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
I like the penguins.
And Stanley was happy.
That's how the happy ending ends. Aw, that was a good one. That was Stanley Parable Part 5, I think, or Part 6. I don't actually know. Please support me on Patreon.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go. Good,
Said the bucket.
now.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.